having Wes Johnson here, right? Like Wes, from what I've been told, the people that I've talked to in the baseball world is Wes Johnson as a pitching coach when he's in college would not necessarily say, okay, hey, we need to go out and spend a whole bunch of money and give scholarships to a bunch of these pitchers. Bring these guys in that have some ability, have the ability, that are good. Give them like whatever the amount we need to get them, like not too much, but like give them like whatever the minimum or whatever it is. Bring them here, and I will develop them into being legitimate, like ace type stuff. And to me, like to have that combination of a guy who's confident enough in the way he develops the staff and develops his pitchers, plus bringing in, you know, talented guys, I think that's like
it's one thing to say.
Perfect storm.
It's one thing to say it too. I think it's fair to say Wes's track record is pretty firm.
I mean, listen, he went from college to the big leagues.
Straight to the big leagues, and then with the big league team, firm.
They're the 11th. They have the 11th best ERA in the league. They're sub 4.
Yeah.
They're a team that shouldn't be in first place. I don't think anybody anticipated them being in first place. They are in first place. And then all of a sudden he says, you know what, I'm out. Mid-season, I'm out. I'm going back to college. I would love to meet him and get him on the show and see what went into that decision of why he decided to leave professional baseball to come back to college. But I'm very happy. I love the fans of other schools that want so hard to like look at the negatives, like, oh, you know, he wears out these pitchers. I'm like, where? I mean, all the guys that were at Arkansas were like top 4 rounders. Like he had all these guys that get drafted. Like, I mean, just because you're upset that we got a guy, you know, I mean, I get it. You're fans of other schools, like that's whatever, but don't be a hater. You know what I mean? But I think
you could go ahead and see, like, for anybody that wants to say he's worn out pitchers or doesn't have the ability to read his pitching staff, look at the comments from Chris Archer, who was dead and buried before.
Very true.
Very good. Very
true.
Because Wes is one of my biggest advocates. We do a lot of work, mental and physical, in between starts. We start talking a few days in advance. We put together a plan and we execute. He's just happy for me. Really, at the end of Saturday's start, we're just trying to reflect on the week and the outing and the season, and I'm really starting to take all that in and what he's taught me. Like, okay, yeah, he's
that's a major league pitcher,
leaguer.
An all-star.
Yeah,
he made the all-star team one year. Like
that had to refine
whose name you haven't really heard in the last 3 years.
Who has been grinding to try to get back to his old form, and he has pitched very well this year.
Yeah,
relative to what he's been, you know, like, and he has gone from pitching coach to pitching coach to pitching coach. He even was in Tampa. Like Tampa is known for developing their pitching staffs, and he gets to Minnesota and new faces, new guys, new language, whatever the pitching, whatever is going on, it clicked with him, and he started throwing really well again. And you're like, well, that's one guy. Like, no, having at Mississippi State, having at Arkansas, and it's happening at the highest level with some of the people who aren't as moldable as college kids, right? Like, you're in the big leagues and you're getting paid all this money and you've made 50, 60, 70, 80 million dollars, and you've always been told, like, damn, you're really good, you have a nasty slide, you throw 98 miles an hour, like, you're Chris Archer, you're this, you're whoever. Like, that's a hard to, like, come in there from being a college guy and say, okay, hey, this is what I think you need to do. This isn't working for you, we need to change it. What do you mean we need to change it? You're in college, you don't know what you're talking about. Instead, he gets all these guys to buy into him and do what he's saying, and they've all improved. Like, to me, that speaks, you know, that says a lot about how he
obviously can communicate very well, so I think that's it's very key when it comes to teaching and molding and helping and kind of pushing along people to a higher position of whatever they already were.
He got the Twins from 13th in ERA to 6th.
He's their 6th right now in the league?
Yeah. So, obviously, like I said, everything that there's a reason that he was very highly coveted by Major League Baseball. I think he's the only coach to go straight from college baseball directly into Major League Baseball. And now he's the only coach to go from Major League Baseball back to college in this short of a span. But that's what I was going to ask you. Is there something warranted to him being like, I just kind of like coaching college baseball?
Maybe. I mean, he may like that, and listen, I thought maybe it had something to do with, like, maybe he didn't like the way that, you know, the way professional baseball was going as far as, like, analytics or things like that. But I don't think that's because, like, I know Rocco Baldelli. He was my first base coach, and he's pretty, like,
hands off.
Yeah, like he's a very good dude. Like he allows the guys to kind of have their own personality and do their own thing, and like he gives a lot of trust to his staff. And so I think that like I don't think that was the issue. Maybe he just likes the fact that he can go down to college, he can mold and grow and develop these kids from a younger age. I don't know.
Maybe this is a place he's always wanted to coach at too. You just never know. Maybe this was the opportunity. So hey, I'll never have this opportunity again if I don't take it now.
Because he was circling around the SEC, Mississippi State, Arkansas, then you get the LSU call, and it's like, how could I not? Are you a little surprised, both of you? I mean, maybe you can get rid of them. You're done with video calls.
I know, it's just bugging me. I want them to work. They're gonna work. I'm gonna get better at them.
Okay.
New headset, people.
Yeah, it works.
I'm working on it.
But is it something to? Like, is the allure of LSU still a thing? Like, I understand.
Of course. I think it's always a thing. But I am surprised. I'm not going to say I'm not. Like, that you just don't see that happen much. So, yeah, definitely surprised at it.
I just, like, when they said who's going to be the pitching coach, I wouldn't even have him on the list.
No.
Well, yeah, I mean, it's
that's
hard
30.
to
There's 30 names. Well, there's 30 names. I would have, if you would have said they were on the list.
Yeah, but, like, people started talking about, the Mississippi State guy, this guy. I'm like, I don't think anybody thought that
you're going to the bigs.
A big league pitching coach is
Do
coming.
they have
And the best part, not only was it a big league pitching coach, it's been a big league pitching coach who's had a ton of success in college. That's hard, right?
Do they have a prior relationship at all? Like, do they
I
know
don't
each other?
know.
Have they worked together anywhere?
I don't know. I mean,
that could be part of it.
You know who's
never
got to
know.
love this? Is RAD. Scotty. He's got to love this because this is like a...
You know who's got to love this?
This is like a Scott hire, like, well, wait, you mean you can go get a big league pitching coach that was the best pitching coach in college a few years ago? Yeah, I think I can get him. Okay, go get him.
You know who else has got to love
Here's
this?
the checkbook, dude.
Go get him.
Go get on the plane.
The K lady. She probably loves this hire.
Oh, loves it. A lot of Ks. Her voice may not. Her voice may be gone.
Her and Chris Giat are happy today.
And Southern Miss, they got to keep their guy.
And they got to keep their guy.
Yeah.
Maybe Southern Miss will come to our regional next year.
Oh, boy.
so.
Don't fire him up already.
Yeah, start it now.
I can't. This is a very... Listen, it went from... Unprecedented hire, but it went from a disappointing end to the season to, whoa.
Doesn't matter.
We're doing some
You could
stuff
love
right now.
Jay. You could like Jay. You could hate Jay. You can't
deny what he's doing right now.
You can't knock this hire. There's no
And
knocking to
what
it.
we talked about on Friday, what he's doing is he understood the expectations at LSU. He understood that it's Omaha or bust, World Series wins. Like, that is what the expectation is here. He came here for that. He embraced that. He wanted that. That's what he wanted, right? He comes in and inherits a really good team. He understands they probably underachieved. He saw some of the weaknesses. He says, I don't want to feel this again. He goes out there, makes all these different moves that he's continually still doing right now, and added the best pitching coach that nobody anticipated, which is a huge bonus. So now all he's doing is adding to the expectations, which I think he embraces. He wants, like, hey, you know what? These were the expectations. I came here. I understand it. This is what I'm doing in order to win the 7th, 8th, 9th, 10th, however many national championships he wants to win. He wants to create his legacy at LSU, and he wants to be remembered for a long time. And to do that, you're going to have to win championships. And he's doing everything he needs to do to put himself in a position to do that.
It's a little, I don't want to say refreshing, but it's a little refreshing to see a coach understand the weight of the program that they've inherited.
Yep.
Because a lot of times it's coaches that come in and say, give me time.
No time.
Let me put this is LSU baseball, guys. They like, once you don't, and I felt like he knew that going in, but when he felt it once he didn't get out of the regional, whenever he saw, we have a super in our sights at Alex Box. All of this is coming to fruition in my first year when I have a stacked squad. I brought in Jacob Berry. Once again, welcome the pressure of bringing on people into this team. I'm not running away from what our expectations are. And he doubles down again this year, brings in a guy like, hopefully, we have our boy, Dylan, come back in. I have no idea.
You don't want to say his last name.
No, what is it? Tabrake?
Tabrak.
Tabrak.
He did it right.
Yeah, Dylan Tabrake.
Not Tabrak.
Capital,
Tabrake.
capital K.
Oh, my God.
Tabrake. But he brings in people like that, brings in Tommy Tanks. Like, he's not running away from what he thinks the methodology is to win. First of which, it seems like it's offense, because I don't know where Tommy Tanks fits in if you have Jordan Thompson playing third and Cape Cod.
Here's what I think he's doing right now. Is he
creating competition?
Well, he's creating competition, but he understands that offense is what he's good at. So what does he do? I can recruit. I'm going to go get the best pitching coach I can get. And so now Hugo, I'm sure he said, hey, you know what? You are running that part of the team. Like, I'm going to recruit. We're going to talk. Obviously, I'm the head coach. You fall in line a little bit behind me, but this is your pitching staff. This is your team. You do what you want to do. You see how it sees fit. As long as you're in line with the same way that I'm going about my business and you go about your business, free reign. And, that was our biggest thing. And this guy, what he is known for, Wes Johnson I'm talking about, is he's known for developing pitchers. Not just finding talent and helping the talent get better. He's known for finding guys who are good and making them great, or finding guys who are average and making them good. Like he is known for developing guys, increasing velocity, doing things to make them very, very good at their job. And I think that's going to be huge because now you have a guy that is going to – now I'm not saying Jason Kelly couldn't do that because I think Jason Kelly was very good. He got a head coaching job. He's obviously respected in that. But, this guy has a track record of –
There's a long track record of development, not even just managing a pitching coach, like straight up development. Which
I'm excited. I'm excited for next year. Hopefully we're doing this show in Omaha.